This week on Let's Fish TV, we're here at Caney Lake in northeast Louisiana, and this place is a big bass factory. It's known for its really big fish. We're here in September, probably one of the toughest times of the year to fish anywhere in the South. I'm telling you guys, today's gonna be a good day and we're gonna catch a lot of bass. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. That is a fish.
Oh man, look at this.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southeast region every week.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that. Woo!
This is Let's Fish.
Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw. Today, we're at a very special place in northeast Louisiana called Caney Lake. Caney Lake is one of those destination places that has a lot of big bass, and today we're gonna be targeting those bass with topwaters and deep water with drop shots. But let me tell you one thing about Caney Lake. It has every type of forage and grass and everything that you'd ever want. From hydrilla up shallow to brush piles out deep and everything else in between. Today we're gonna showcase Caney and show you what it's all about. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. In the meantime, I'm gonna get this bass cat launch, get everything set up. We'll toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Let's Fish. The Salooner tables are predicting good activity both days this weekend. Peak game fish activity begins close to midday around 10:58 Saturday and 11:51 on Sunday. Nighttime action will begin around 11:23 on Saturday and midnight on Sunday. Depending on your area, you can expect the sun to rise around 7:18 and set around 7:23. Nights will feature a new moon this weekend. Stick around, we've got fishing reports from across the area on the way, and I'm set to return with Bassmaster Elite Angler Lee Livesay to answer this week's Ask the Pro question.
Today on Caney Lake, we're dealt with some very tough September conditions. It's dead slick calm. We're supposed to have some intermittent wind today. Bluebird skies. This is typically the recipe for disaster in the late summer. But let me tell you guys, we're gonna adapt well. I'm gonna show you how to catch some fish doing some pretty tricky stuff. Today's Let's Fish episode is not one you wanna miss. We're gonna catch some big bass. We're gonna be doing some stuff that's really different. Don't miss it. We'll be out there here in just a minute and hopefully catching a nice bass. There we go, guys. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Whew. Caney Lake biggin', dude. Topwater fishing this time of year. One thing you gotta do is pay attention to what's around you. And that's exactly what we did here. Saw that fish blow a gizzard shad up. We're actually just coming up to the truck for a second. Saw him blow up a gizzard shad. Kept that sexy dog out and hooked a nice one. Look at this fish, guys. Oh my gosh. I mean, we're at the boat ramp. We're not at any special secret spot. We're at the boat ramp. Check that fish out. There we go. Biggin'. I mean, just destroyed that sexy dog. Let's get this fish back and we'll talk a little bit about Caney Lake. You know, guys, just caught that nice bass throwing a sexy dog. You know, this happens to be one of my favorite sexy dogs there is. This is the hard knock version. This particular sexy dog has a single knock that really seems to draw fish out of. And this is a tip that you can take through the fall for the rest of the fall months when these fish are up there eating shad, is to pay attention to what's going on around you. Right now, I saw a gizzard shad flop up on the bank. I saw this bass chasing it, and I had the bait ready. As soon as I stepped up, first cast on it, walked that sexy dog over there, and the fish ate it. It's all about paying attention to what's around you. If you see a big shad jump out of the water, or you see a group of shad jump out, pick up a bait and throw it over there. Topwater is key this time of year, but hey, we've got a really special surprise here in a little while. Caney Lake here in north central Louisiana has got some big bass in it, but we're gonna showcase a few other things here in a little while. that I think you're really gonna enjoy, and I can't wait to get back out there and hopefully catch another nice bass.
Hey y'all, this is my favorite part of the show, the Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia Coastal Fishing Report. This segment's brought to you by me, Captain Patrick Armisen with Ugly Fishing. Just go to my website, uglyfishing.com. You can find out everything you need to know about what I do, when I do it, how I do it, and you can get on my online there and book a trip. If you got any questions outside of that, give me a call or shoot me a text at 251-747-1554. The bite around Alabama in the Mississippi Sound area is greater than that in the Mobile Bay area, in my opinion, right now. So if you're going to go after speckled trout and redfish, Mississippi Sound's where you want to be. Looking for flocks of birds feeding on shrimp that those fish are pushing up. Shrimp imitation under a popping cork will get that job done. The jacks are also still in abundance, especially around those schools of pogies and those mullet as they're starting to group up for this fall mullet run. Speaking of fall mullet run, Tim Cole out of Georgia said it is starting to happen over there on that Georgia coast. Tim runs Spartina Adventures. Y'all give him a shout if you are looking to book a trip over there on the Georgia coast. He said that the big line stretchers, the jacks, the sharks, the bull reds, tarpon, feeding on those mullet as they're starting to bunch up for this fall run. Talked to Ronnie Daniels out of Passion Christian, Mississippi. He said that the speckled trout bite's a little off. He said the white shrimp are not into that marsh, not as good as he would hope. And he said it's got that bite a little slow. He said that the best thing going right now is still targeting those bull reds and jacks and sharks along the coastal areas, mainly in those schools of pogies. But thanks for checking out this week's fishing report. Y'all keep what you need and leave the rest. God bless, guys.
There we go. Fish on. Oh my gosh. He needs to chill out a little bit, don't he? Oh man, 4-pound test, guys, and we're here on Caney Lake. I'm having to open my drag up a little bit. When you get this real light line, it doesn't take a real big fish to break you off. Actually, I just broke off one a few minutes ago that was probably around 3.5 pounds. I horsed it just a little bit too much, and it's real easy to do. This fish is just a jumper. He's going everywhere. But today's show, more so than anything, yeah, we start off with a topwater. We caught us a real big one. But the whole idea behind today's show for me was to bring you out here and show you and give you some confidence in fishing insanely light line. Now, this is the extreme of the matter, okay? This isn't what you necessarily have to do. But this is just to show you that you can go out there with 6-pound line, 8-pound test, 10-pound test, and have success out there on the water. If you're always throwing 15 and 20, I really challenge you to downsize your line and just to see how many more bites you get. Like I said, you don't have to go to 4. I'm just one of those risk takers. I enjoy it. I love the fight. Everybody talks about the bite, but I love the bite of a bass. Or the fight of a bass, and that's what I'm doing with today. That real light drag, catching these fish the way I like to catch them, and that is super light line and a spinning rod. Let's get this fish in. If you're gonna do this though, make sure you have you a net. It's a little bit easier to land these bass whenever you have a net. But he's hooked perfect. I've let him fight himself out a little bit. Not a bad bass, guys. I mean, check that out. Not a bad one. Got him hooked perfect. He was not going to come unhooked. Could he have jumped off? Absolutely. But a nice bass here on Caney Lake. So let's talk a little bit about what we are doing here. Caney Lake is up near Monroe, Louisiana. And let me tell you guys, all through the South, it gets really hard to catch bass. And I mean, I don't care where you're at, what you're trying to do. This transition from August to September is really, really tough sometimes, especially in these southern lakes. So this is the perfect time to go try different things. Whether it be light line, different baits, just kind of experiment to get a feel for how certain baits fish. And today, what we're doing is we're talking about super light line. Once again, I know I've said it quite a few times, but you don't have to go to 4-pound test. I enjoy 4-pound tests because I love to fight these fish. I love that drag singing And when you catch a 2-pounder, it almost gives you that same satisfaction as catching a 5-pounder. And goodness gracious, let me tell you guys, when you hook one of them giant ones like 5, 6, 7, 8-pound bass on 4-pound test, you want to talk about a heart skipping a beat or feeling like you hooked the lake record, go do that and you will be baffled about the amount of fun that you will have landing that bass. I'm telling you guys, we've had a great day so far. I feel like I'm still got a chance to catch me a couple nice ones. I'm gonna get back out there, but if you get the opportunity, don't pass up Caney. This place has them, and they have them way bigger than what I've caught today.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Mamba Boats, Ride with Pride, Strike King, Tie One On, Glacier Glove, stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades, Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Oh my gosh, guys, big one. And I love to say big one, but when you're hooking them on 4-pound tests, they're all big. Oh my gosh, guys, big one. And I love to say big one, but when you're hooking them on 4-pound tests, they're all big. But I actually think this is a pretty nice one here. Oh yeah, that's a good one. So guys, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you about what happened. We're back out here. We actually filmed quite a few fish earlier and lost all the audio. So we're back out here showing you exactly how to catch these bass and first cast on the place. Lights out, guys. 4-pound test. You know, one really important key here is having a good spinning reel. Lose, I've used lose my entire career. My entire professional career I've used lose. And let me tell you, the spinning reels that we originally had weren't the best. I'll just be the first to tell you. But this new Hyper Mag that they came out with has the softest drag I feel like I've ever used in a spinning reel. And I can manage these fish on 4-pound test and not be worrisome about losing the fish. I mean, this is a pretty good fish, guys. And, you know, having the right action rod's really important, but having that reel that has a great drag system in this situation is probably one of the most important aspects of this entire rig. And playing these fish, you know, understanding, using your body to go down with these fish as they fight down. You know, if you want to have the time of your life and truly come out here and catch nice bass, get you some 4-pound test and get to work on them. I mean, gosh, guys, this is such a good bass, and I'm letting the rod, the drag kind of do what it's supposed to do. And just a good fish here. I got her hooked good. She's jumping all around. We're gonna try to get this fish in the boat real easy like. Check that out, guys. Wow. We've been fishing all day, and I promise you, we've been catching fish like this the entire day. Hooked perfectly, hook just fell out. Check that out. Oh my gosh, what an awesome bass that is. Let me tell you though, guys, I've said it a few times now, but having a good quality spinning reel will save your bacon with really light line. The only thing you have to remember whenever you get in a situation like this and you get ready to make another cast, you gotta tighten it down a little bit more so you're able to land that fish and set the hook properly. But playing that fish, having that really soft drag, 4-pound line. You know, I know this is the extreme of the matter, but you can do this. I promise you. And I promise, guys, I've always wanted to do this TV show. Take you to a big bass fishery and go so extreme that when people watch, they're like, there's no way that guy's doing what he's doing. But I promise you, without a doubt, this is 4-pound line, straight 4-pound line, almost a light action rod in a 200 size Lose Hyper Mag spinning reel. It doesn't get much better than that.
Hey y'all, it's time for your Carolinas Report this week, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. My partners at Crazy Sister want to get you out. They want you to have fun in the fall. You want to come down, live like a local, and enjoy the best weather of the year. it's that time to do it. I tell you what, visit crazysister.com for more information on exactly what we offer, but inshore, nearshore, offshore fishing, kayaks, paddle boards. You can rent a boat and do it yourself. We've got everything. Our guys here, our dock hands, will point you in the right direction to have a great time on the water. But book that trip, come down and enjoy the fall. We're gonna talk offshore fishing, and we're really gonna go offshore. I'll tell you what, this time of the year is overlooked. You know, we really look at April and May as our big offshore fishery. Right now, incredible fishing on the break. And when I say that, that 160 to 180 foot right on that shelf where it drops off. Get her out, do some high-speed trolling. Early in the morning, follow those edges, work those contours, look for those wolf packs of wahoo. Then get out that meat and catch some blackfin tuna. Great numbers of tuna right now. Small baits, really small baits. You get out there, boon feathers, something really small. Blue and white and pink are my two favorite colors for tuna, but get out, have a great time offshore. Pick your days. You're going to get a lot of good days this time of the year. Get out and you'll have some great success along the coast here in the Carolinas. This has been your Carolinas Report. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion. Coastline Trailers, built by fishermen for fishermen.
What I'm doing is I'm giving y'all a demonstration on using extremely light line. There we go, guys. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm giving y'all a demonstration on using extremely light line. Let me just go ahead and tell you, this isn't necessary for Caney Lake by any means, but I've always wanted to do a show where I highlight extreme light line. And right now we're fishing with 4-pound test bass fishing on one of the very best lakes in Louisiana. You know, and there's a lot of really giant fish here. This is not a giant fish, but the whole idea behind this is to take your time, and it can be some of the most fun and most rewarding fishing that you'll ever have. You know, like I said, it's a small fish, but you got to really, really take your time with them. 4-pound test is a really small line. I mean, I still can boat flip them. Preferably you want to use a net here. I mean, not a bad little fish. We've caught them today anywhere between this size and up to 2 pounds. Caught one real big one earlier. I'm gonna get this fish back real quick. But let's talk about this 4-pound test now. So, like I said before, this is a show that I've always wanted to do. I always wanted to kind of really talk you through the process of 4-pound line. So find a good quality 4-pound. And the other thing you're gonna notice is there's no braid on this reel. It's straight fluorocarbon line. Let me tell you guys, you don't have to fish 4-pound line at Caney. I just want to show you that it's possible, that you can catch nice bass on it and you can have a good time. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a little while. And we'll see if we can catch a few more bass. Oh, there we go, guys. Man, not a bad one for 4-pound line. Oh, there we go. Oh, here we go, guys. Oh, man. Nice little bass to end out the day. Nothing too crazy. Today we're on Caney Lake, and it's more important today just to show you how to get some bites on this thing. It's not always about catching the biggest fish in the lake. Sometimes it's about having an absolute blast. And let me tell you guys, today on Caney, that's exactly what we've had, is a good time. We've caught a lot of bass. This place, you know, I've never been here before, and it's actually shocked me just how many bass are in this lake. I mean, it's it's baffling, truly. You get an active target and you look around and all you see is bass every direction you look. And the reason I know they're bass is the way they're schooled up and the way they're feeding on my bait when I flip it in there. But you know, one thing about Caney, if you like to fish shallow, it has a ton of hydrilla up there shallow. If you like to fish deep, it has a ton of offshore structure. So it really has a little bit of everything for any type of fishing situation. But guys, that's a wrap for today. I can't wait to get to the boat ramp and tell y'all a little bit about how we approach Caney and some of our top baits to catch them this time of year.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors, making it easier than ever to gear up and have fun out there. Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. Power Pole. Total boat control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's get right on over to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Albert wants to know, what is the easiest species of fish to catch and the hardest fish to catch? For an answer, we asked Bassmaster Elite Angler Lee Livesay.
Easiest species of fish to catch would probably be a bluegill. You know, just about anywhere you're at, any dock or bank or anything, you can throw a little worm or something out there and catch a bluegill. Now, the hardest fish to catch would probably be a largemouth bass at OHIV when it warms up.
Thank you, Lee. If you want some help too from one of the pros, simply go to letsfishtv.com, follow that Ask the Pro link to submit your own question.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
This week on your Academy Right Stuff, I'm going to talk to you about the Lew's Hypermag Speed Spin Spinning Reel. This is the cat's meow when it comes to a high-class, low-price point spinning reel that gets you all the bang for your buck. I'm telling you guys, you tried this reel out. It has a superior drag system and it has 11 ball bearings. It is one of the most immaculate spinning reels I've ever held in my hands. Today on Caney Lake, I used a two-pronged approach to catch my bass, and that's what you typically see me do here on Let's Fish TV. The first prong was a KVD Sexy Dog Hard Knock. This is made by Strike King in the bone color. It caught our biggest fish of the day, which happened to be a really nice 5 to 6 pound bass. I'm using a 20-pound braid, Strike King braid, to a 17-pound mono leader, real short leader. I like that for shock absorption, and I feel like I actually don't hang the hooks on the braid nearly as much, so I use that mono leader, and it really cuts out all the hook hanging that you would typically find in that. 6'9" moderate fast action rod and a Pro TI, loose Pro TI reel completes that setup. But let me tell you guys, the key setup today, which accounted for so many bass, was a drop shot, but 4-pound test. And guys, it was an absolute blast. We beat down the bass today on Let's Fish TV. The drop shot consisted of a really small size 1 and 1/0 hook, a 1/4 ounce tungsten drop shot weight, a 4-inch worm, little lifelike worm, but 4-pound test fluorocarbon. Everything here and more you can see at academy.com. Guys, I know without a doubt I will be back to this lake again, and I'm going to show you just how great it is once more here in the near future. I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode. I hope you learned how to find and catch them here on this beautiful lake called Caney Lake, and maybe you'll get a chance to come out here soon. Until next time, I'll see you on the water.